All right, so we are starting a new unit today, and we've been working with equations which had equal signs, right? Something was equal to something else. And in this unit, we're going to be working with inequalities, which means that we're going to be looking at situations where something is not equal to something else, but it's greater than maybe or less than something else. So we're going to start by introducing you to the concept of inequalities in this lesson. So go ahead and let's just quickly review the answers to the do now. Okay, so there are a lot of different answers to these do now questions. So you're guessing how much candy he has. The first clue, he has 12 or more. So 3 correct guesses could be he could have 12 because he has 12 or more. He could have 15 because that's more than 12. He could have 30 and that's more than 12. And some bad guesses, of course, 11, which is less than 12, 9, and 1 also less than 12. All right, now we get a second clue. He says he has also less than 20. So if we make a guess based on both of these clues, 12 again would be good, 16 would be good, and 19 would be good, because these are all less than 20 and 12 or more. And some bad guesses would be 11 again would be bad, but this time 20 would be bad because it's less than 20, so it doesn't include 20. And then 30 used to be good, but now 30 is bad because 30 is not less than 20. All right, so we're going to be keeping that in mind. What does it mean to be more than something or less than something? That's going to help us figure out the problems today. All right, go ahead and turn to the next page, please. So I want to walk you through some translation problems from English to math that involve inequalities. So let's take a look at a couple of these. The first one is x is less than 5. So a direct translation is x is less than 5. And we have looked at less than and greater than signs before. And remember that it opens up to the bigger number, and the smaller number gets the little tiny point. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the next one. 16 is more than m. So a direct translation, 16 is more than m. More meaning greater. All right, the next one. The sum of h and 2. All right, let's just translate that one right now. The sum of h and 2, and then is greater than 50. So there's our greater than sign, pointing, the open ends pointing to the larger side, the open ends pointing to the larger side. All right, the next one is the product of 10 and x. All right, let's translate that right now. So that's 10x, 10 multiplied by x, is less than or equal to 90. All right, how do we write that? Is less than, and if we had an equal as part of it, we put the equal sign underneath that. So that represents less than or equal. And it's less than or equal to 90. So the lesser side gets the smaller point, the larger side gets the big opening. And then finally we have the value of w is more than or equal to 77. So w is more than or equal to 77. Again, the open side goes to the greater one because this is more, so it's greater than 77 is the smaller and gets the small point. All right, go ahead and turn to the next page. We're going to continue to review less than and greater than. All right, this page is similar to the do now, and I'd actually like you to try this on your own first, and then come back and check the answers. So pause the video, complete questions 1 and 2, and then come back and see how you did. All right, check out these answers. So Jay-Z spent more than $5 million on Beyonce's engagement ring. So one possible value would be 5,000,001, or 6 million, or 5,500,000, all more than 5 million. Bad values would be exactly 5 million because he spent more than, not 5 million, but it has to be more than that. So 5 is impossible, 4 million is impossible, 1 million is impossible. So question C says, is it possible that the engagement ring cost exactly 5 million? No, because he said he spent more than 5 million. Now, Miss Rothstein spent less than or equal to 225. So possible amounts she spent: 200s less than that, 150s less than that, 100s less than that. 3 impossible values. One could be 226 because that's greater than 225. Same with 250, same with 300. And is it possible that she spent exactly 225? Well, yes, because she spent less than or equal to 225. So she could have spent exactly 225. All right, go ahead and turn to the next page, please. All right, on this page, we're going to quickly review some of those words that we've been using that represent inequalities. First of all, there is a mistake on this page, and this should say have this instead of what it has, okay? All right, so I'm going to walk you through this. The words that you would use to translate these from math to English are the following. This would be something like number greater than 3. A number greater than 3. And similarly, this would be a number less than 6. But now you see we have the equal sign involved in these next two, so that's going to change the language a little bit. So this would be a number greater than or equal to 7. And then similarly, this last one would be a number less than or equal to 8. So when you have the equal sign as part of the inequality, that's going to be a combined, and you combine it with an or, greater than or equal, less than or equal. All right, now to write these in the opposite direction so that they're still true would look something like this. We would have 3 less than x. Notice that the point still goes to the 3 and the big side still goes to the x. So you have to change everything to keep the statement true. So similarly, this would be 6 greater than x. This would be 7 less than or equal to x. And this would be 8 greater than or equal to x. So you can write them in both ways, and they mean the same thing. All right. I want you to do these next 4, but I'm going to do the first one with you. We're going to translate these. So the first one says Sam spent more than $12. Obviously, the more than is the important thing here. We're talking about dollars. So I'm going to use D for dollar, because that's what we're talking about. And we know that the dollars that he spent is more than 12. Does that include 12? Doesn't sound like it, so there's no equal sign that goes with the greater than sign. Let me give you a hint. Not all of these are actually inequalities. Some of these are equations. So go ahead and pause the video, finish up 2, 3, and 4, and then come back and check your answers. All right, check out these answers. Charlie ate 12 pounds of jelly beans. That's exactly 12, so there's an equality there, not greater than or less than. There's no more or less than. He ate 12. 3, Stephanie weighed less than 90 pounds, so her weight is less than 90. Doesn't mention anything about the same as 90, so we just use the less than sign. And Annie walked 17 miles or more. So she walked 17, or she could have walked 17.5 or 18 or 19. So here we have to use a greater than or equal to 17, because she might have walked 17, but she might have been more than 17. So this is a greater than or equal to translation. All right, now we're going to just do lots of practice problems, so go ahead and turn to the next page, please. So go ahead and pause the video on these. These are a little bit tricky, but give them a try and then come back and check your answers. All right, check out these answers. So let's talk about them a little bit. Number 5, the inequality 3 is less than k can also be read as k greater than 3. And that's the variable. That's what is part of the scenario here. So the scenario, though, uses the word fewer. So this would have to be k less than 3 to be fewer. But this is actually k greater than 3. So I'm going to write that down here. Same as k greater than 3. And greater does not match fewer. Okay, for the next one, does the value x equal to 6, is that included in this scenario? Children under 6 must sit in a car seat on an airplane. That's under. It doesn't say under or the same as, it just says under. So x equal to 6 is not included. All right, then you can check out the last 4 on your own and see if you got those right and see if you can figure out why. And then go ahead and turn to the next page. All right, this page is a matching exercise, and in class we're going to do this with students coming up to the Promethean board. So you can either do this on your own now, or you can see and wait until we do this as a class if you want to participate in that part of it. So that's up to you. I'm going to put the answers down here, and if you want you can fast forward it if you don't want to do it now and go on to the next page, or you can pause for a little bit and do this with the class. So I will leave that up to you. All right, here are some more practice problems in translating. So go ahead and pause the video, work on these, and then come back and check your answers. All right, check out these answers, and if you didn't get them right, see if you can figure out why, and then go ahead and turn to the next page. All right, go ahead and work on these questions. Pause the video and come back and check to see how you did. All right, check out these answers and see how you did. let's see, one I wanted to point out was at least. At least it always includes the number that it's talking about. So it includes, that's why you have to have an equal sign there. All right, one more page of practice problems and then you'll be done. Go ahead and work on these problems, pause the video, and then come back and check how you did. All right, check out these answers. The one I want to point out to you is the phrase "at most." That's one that you have to memorize, okay? So at most always means less than or equal to. At most means 20 is your top dollar and everything has to be below that. So again, at most is one of those phrases you have to memorize. All right, check out these answers and then let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can start the homework.